My life didn't actually change in February 1991 when I came here, but this was the start of the journey that changed my life. In late 1990, I started to get this real feeling about Peru. In this return to Peru, we're going to see the places that I went to all those years ago, and the particular place where, boom, it all happened. And we're going to also look in this journey at the knowledge and the history that has been suppressed by the colonialists of Europe, and see that the ancients knew far more than they're given credit for, and certainly far more than the fake religion and the fake belief system that was imposed upon them to destroy what was there before. It's going to be quite a journey.
One of the things that hit me when I got here in Peru, and it's the first time I've been in the country, was how animated the land was. I've said this before, I think, to a few people, but there seemed to be an amazing visual, almost lyrical system of faces and shapes and all sorts of strange things going on with the land, as though the spirit was still in the land, as it was really, really alive. What you've got is the beginning of a journey and almost like the end of a journey. It's a little bit like starting a book and ending a book, and all the information in between is relevant to that part of the journey. And I can't speak for David, of course, because he's going through his own stuff, but it really feels to me like, because of the amount of time I've been involved in the projects, that something is ending and something powerful is starting, and we're going into a new chapter. My art is changing sometimes, I can see changes in it, and I know from listening to David that he's going into a deeper level of himself, which will obviously bring out more information relating to the nature of reality and all the other stuff that he's talked about for years. So I think that's what this trip is about. It's about that on one level, and it's about lots of individual journeys and people coming together to interact in an energetic way, which is helping to change the global position of how we see.
Coming out of the walls. And Neil Haig, who does the artwork for my book, of course, so my books, has been looking around, and you've got a theory about that, because you've got experience of this in France as well.
Yeah, it looks very much like a ceremonial chamber, like a cloister. In France, the Templars used to build cloisters in Gothic cathedrals, and they'd have these faces coming out or appearing. These are a lot lower down. I've seen them in France where they're along the top. And they're quite clearly, well, for me, in my opinion, they're interdimensionals coming through into this reality as the ceremony takes place within the centre. And that's why they're there, because they're there to invoke that energy as these entities come through. But the faces definitely have that kind of otherworldly, alien look about them. You know, that kind of almost dazed, as well, as though they're glaring into this world. Look at the size of the eyes as they're coming through.
Yeah, I don't like this place at all. It's horrible. When you come to a place like this, you realize it's only a lunatic asylum because we allow it to be, and we play our part in making it so. And I was so interested on the first day of this trip with Malcu, the Peruvian guide, talking about the power centers and the places of energetic power and the way they are aligned to each other in this universal, or what it is, a universal grid, but a planetary grid in terms of planet Earth. Because I've come across that in every indigenous culture that I've come across all over the world, and I've been to a few. They all talk, whether it's Africa or Asia or Australia with the Aborigines, or here in Peru and other South American countries, the Native Americans in North America. They talk about this grid of energy, and where lots of these lines cross, they create these vortex points of amazing energy, and energy is information. Energy is information, and it is consciousness, and we can interact with this, with our consciousness, and we can draw information and insight and understanding from that field of energy, and we can also contribute our awareness to that. And what I'm seeing now, and it's so fantastic. Of course, in places like Britain, the Druids and other ancient cultures in Britain, and as with the rest of the world, they knew about these energy power centers, and they were their sacred points where they put their stone circles and the standing stones and all the rest of it, as you have the power centers that we're visiting here in Peru. And that knowledge in Britain and other places was lost to the vast majority of the population, just as it has been in Peru, thanks to the Roman Catholic Church and the Spanish invasion. Same all over the world. It's a global phenomenon, what we are now experiencing in this awakening of humanity from its slumber, from its amnesic state, its hypnotic state. And now we're seeing this coming together of the intellect, the brain, the head, opening itself to this, the heart, that this is the real energy center, this is the real power center of the human form and the human energy field. This is where innate intelligence, this is where knowing comes from, not thinking, not what do you think, I'm going to work it out, knowing. And when the intellect dominates this, which it has through Western civilization on purpose because of the control system, then all you're left with is basically, compared with this, ignorant, uninformed. Compared with this, village idiot. But when this opens, which is what we're about on this trip, then this can do its real job, which is to serve in interacting with this reality, the knowing that comes from here. And when that comes together, and it is an absolutely unstoppable force. And that is the force, because from that will come the awareness on how we respond to this control system. From that force will bring an end to this insanity.